Hello students, myself Anna Sahib Gorane from Rayat Shikshan Samsthas, RBNB College Sriampur. Today we study the articles from chapter Wave Optics. You know interference of waves, the modification in the intensity of light produced due to superposition of waves is interference. If the waves are in same phase, the interference is said to be constructive, and if the waves are out of phase, the interference is said to be destructive. You know all this concept. Now today we see what is path difference and phase difference. Path difference and phase difference. Suppose wave is traveling along this x-axis. This is a wave, one wave. Phase angle is here 0, here pi, here phase angle is 2 pi, we know. 0, pi, 2 pi, and this distance we know lambda, that is the wavelength. In case of wave, the distance we call it as a path. Equal to wavelength lambda corresponds to phase 2 pi. Phase of the wave is expressed in terms of these angles. Distance lambda, that is distance equal to wavelength lambda, corresponds to phase angle 2 pi radian. For two waves of phase difference 2 pi, corresponds to path difference lambda. Phase difference between the two waves, if it is 2 pi radian, the path difference is lambda. It means lambda path is equivalent to phase 2 pi radian. If path is x or distance is x, suppose phase difference is phi. Phase difference is phi. So this phi into lambda is equal to 2 pi x. Therefore, phase difference phi is equal to 2 pi by lambda into path difference x. Phase difference phi is equal to 2 pi by lambda into path difference, or we write this as phase difference is equal to pi by lambda into path difference. This is the relation between phase difference and path difference. Now we see the conditions for constructive interference and destructive interference. Conditions for constructive interference that is also called as conditions for maximum intensity. We know interference is said to be constructive if two waves are in same phase. Two waves are in same phase, that is crest of one wave coincides with crest of other, trough of one wave coincides with trough of other. The resultant intensity is maximum at that point. And for constructive interference, the main condition is phase difference between the two waves must be 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, and so on. This is the main condition for the constructive interference. If this condition is satisfied, then and then only the waves are in same phase, that is crest coincides with crest, trough coincides with trough, and so on. And we write this also as phase difference is equal to n pi, n into pi, where n starts from 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, and so on. If n is 0, first phase difference is 0, plus minus 1, then n into 2 pi, sorry, here n into 2 pi. Phase difference is n into 2 pi, n is 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, we simply write it as 0, 1, 2, 3, or plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, or 0, 1, 2, 3. If n is 0, 0, if n is 1, 2 pi, if n is 2, 2 pi, 4 pi, 3, 6 pi, and so on. The phase path difference, we know for 0 path difference is 0, 2 pi is equivalent to lambda, 4 pi is equivalent to 2 lambda, 3 lambda, and so on. Or we write it as where that is equal to n lambda, where that n starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. It means for the constructive interference, the path difference between the waves is integral multiple of wavelength. That is 1 lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, and so on. So for the constructive interference, the path difference between the waves is integral multiple of wavelength. Integral multiple of wavelength. And when this condition satisfied, the waves are in same phase, and we get the maximum intensity point, and the interference is constructive interference. Now we see the conditions for destructive interference or conditions for minimum intensity. Condition for destructive interference or conditions for minimum intensity. For the destructive interference, we know the waves are out of phase. Waves are out of phase. Crest of one wave coincides with trough of other, and vice versa. And here, phase difference between the waves, condition for the phase difference is pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi, and so on. If this condition is satisfied, then and then only the waves are out of phase. Or we write it as n minus half into 2 pi, where n starts from 1, 2, 3 and so on. If n is 1 minus half into 2 pi, that is pi. If n is 2 minus half, that is 3 by 2 into 2 pi, that is 3 pi and so on. So phase difference condition is like this. Condition for the path difference is, now here pi is equivalent to lambda by 2. So lambda by 2, 3 pi means 3 lambda by 2, 5 lambda by 2, 7 lambda by 2 and so on. Or we write it as, in terms of path difference, this is n minus half into lambda, n minus half into lambda, where this n starts from 1, 2, 3. If n is 1 minus half, that is half lambda by 2. If n is 2 minus half, that is 3 lambda by 2. So condition for destructive interference is, the path difference between the waves must be odd multiple of half wavelength. Odd multiple of half wavelength. Lambda by 2, here 1 is there, odd number. 3 lambda by 2, that is half wavelength. 5 lambda by 2 is half wavelength, and these are the odd numbers. For the constructive interference, condition is path difference must be integral multiple of wavelength, and for the destructive interference, the condition is path difference must be odd multiple of half wavelength. So this is about conditions for constructive interference, that is the maximum intensity, and condition for minimum intensity, that is the destructive interference. If these conditions are satisfied, in constructive interference we get the maximum intensity, that is the bright point, and in destructive interference we get the dark point, minimum intensity, and we get the dark point. Now our next article is Young's double slit experiment. Young's double slit experiment. Scientist Young performed first experiment to study the interference of light. He performed the first experiment to study the interference of light, and the experimental arrangement of Young's double slit experiment is shown in the diagram. So this is the diagram of Young's double slit experiment. This AB is opaque screen. Two slits are there, S1, S2. Separated distance between them is about 2 mm to 4 mm. These are the two slits on the opaque screen AB. Behind this screen AB, there is a observing screen PQ. PQ is a observing screen. Light is incident on these slits. Parallel light is incident on this slit from the point source of light S. This light first incident on convex lens, and then this parallel beam of light is incident on the two slits S1 and S2. Now these S1 and S2 are at same distance from the source S. The waves reaching S1, S2 are in same phase and they act as secondary source of light, emitting the secondary wavelets or secondary waves in the form of alternate crest and troughs. The continuous arc represents crest and dotted arc represents trough. They interfere with each other or they superimpose with each other, and interference pattern is observed on this observing screen PQ. At some points marked by the crosses, these crosses, crest coincides or trough coincides, the waves are in same phase and we get the maximum intensity point, or we call it as a bright point on the screen. At the points marked by the dots, these dots, crest of one wave coincides with trough of other and vice versa. The waves are said to be out of phase. The interference is destructive, and along this line we get minimum intensity point, or we call it as dark points. In this way, alternate bright and dark fringes are observed on the screen. Alternate, this is bright fringe, then dark fringe, again bright, dark, bright, dark, bright. In this way, alternate bright and dark fringes are observed on the screen, and it is called as interference pattern. Interference pattern is observed on the screen. The distance between two successive bright fringes or the distance between two successive dark fringes is called as fringe width or bandwidth. Firstly, we find the expression for path difference between the waves. In Young's experiment, firstly we find the path difference between the waves. Suppose here this is S1, slit S1, here there is a slit S2, and here there is an observing screen, we know. This is the observing screen. We draw perpendiculars from S1, S2 on the screen. This is the central point. We draw the perpendiculars from S1 on the screen and also perpendicular from S2 on the observing screen. These are the two slits S1, S2 in the Young's double slit experiment. This point is a central point, suppose O. Here O is the central point. Here there is a source S, we know. And distance between this S1 and S2 is suppose small d. Distance between these two sources is small d. S1, M1, suppose S1, S2, M2, and suppose this perpendicular is O1. This is the central point O1. We consider a point P on the screen. This is point P, suppose, at a distance y from the central point O1 on the screen, and we join these points S1p and S2p. Suppose distance between these slits and observing screen is capital D. As this S1, S2, this total distance is small d, it means this is d by 2. And this distance is again d upon 2. D by 2 and d by 2. Because this is the perpendicular bisector, this distance d is divided into two equal parts, that is d by 2 and d by 2. In triangle S2M2P, P is a point at a distance y from the central point O1. The waves reaching at point O1 are S1O1 and S2O1. As it is a central point, the path difference between these waves is 0 and condition for brightness is satisfied here, and this central point O1 is always bright. This central point O1 is always bright. Now we have to find whether this point P is bright or dark, so that we can find the path difference between these 2 points. Now this path difference is S2P minus S1P. Path difference between 2 waves reaching at point P is S2P minus S1P. Firstly, we consider the triangle S2M2P. In this triangle, by Pythagoras theorem, S2P square is equal to S2M2 square plus PM2 square. So this S2P square is S2M2 square, that is this square, plus PM2 means this y plus this d half, y plus d by 2 its square. So this we get S2P square. Now in triangle S1M1P, by Pythagoras theorem again, S1P square is equal to S1M1 square plus PM1 square. S1P square is equal to S1M1 square plus PM1 square. So S1P square, but S1M1 is d square plus PM1 is y minus d half. PM1 is y minus d half its square. Now path difference between these waves reaching at P is S2P minus S1P. So from 1 and 2, from equation 1 and 2, we subtract 2 from 1, that is S2P square minus S1P square S2P square minus S1P square is equal to d square plus y plus d half square minus d square minus y minus d half square. But this s2p square minus s1p square is first bracket s2p minus s1p. In second bracket s2p plus s1p. s2p minus s1p. In second bracket s2p plus s1p, and by solving this we get it is 2yd. By solving that mathematical part we get 2yd. Hence our next step is s2p minus s1p is equal to 2yd divided by s2p plus s1p. s2p plus s1p, and this is s2p minus s1p is nothing but the path difference between the waves reaching at point P. Path difference between the waves reaching at point P, and that path difference is 2yd divided by s2p plus s1p. But this distance small d between the slits is very, very small as compared to capital D. Hence, this S1P is nearly equal to S2P. And that is nearly equal to capital D. As the distance between the two sources is very small, small d is very, very less than capital D. S1P is equal to S2P, nearly equal to capital D. Hence, that above equation becomes, path difference is equal to path difference between the waves, this value, path difference is equal to 2yd upon d plus d. 2yd upon d plus d, or this path difference is equal to 2yd upon 2 capital D. 2 get cancelled and we get path difference between these waves reaching at the point P on the screen is yd upon d. Path difference between the waves reaching at point P is yd upon d. So, okay, today we stop here. Thank you.